Good morning, everyone. My name is Heather Anna-Spiggy, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at Tropic Supply, and we welcome you to our fourth session of MasterMyRood.com. We're going to get started here, hopefully right at 8 o'clock. So come on in, and we will have a few announcements, and then we will get this party started. Good morning, Rose. I see your good morning in the chat. Good morning, everyone. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started because the content will follow in about 3 minutes. I'm going to get through some announcements really quick, and then we'll get started with RAPIDSPEC, which is our topic for today under the My.Ruud umbrella. So a couple quick announcements. We're getting to the end of our breast cancer awareness promotion. For those of you who may not know about this promotion, this is something we've been doing for, I think, almost 10 years now. We partner with Ruud and Glass Floss with this particular promotion, and we raise funds to support research for breast cancer and awareness as well. So you can get one of our limited edition t-shirts featured down here, these black long sleeve dry fit shirts. Simply by buying 2 cases of Glass Floss filters on a single invoice, you can get one at your local Tropic Supply. All locations have them. And then you have additional opportunities to win more prizes by taking a selfie of yourself wearing your t-shirt, installing a Glass Floss filter, and we'll be entered into our raffle for soft-sided igloo cooler. So time's running out. So if you want to participate in that, make sure you get down and buy some filters and get your shirt and take your selfie. And then there's a lot of training happening the rest of October and the beginning of November. Russell refrigeration training is going on starting next week, and there's another series in November. All of these classes are located on our website under the tropicsupply.com/events calendar. There are limited spaces. You have to register. The classes are free to attend, but make sure that you register for them. If a class is full, simply send an email to marketing@tropicsupply.com and we'll put you on a wait list. We make confirmation calls the night before all of the training classes. So if there's a space, we can give you a call and let you know that we have a spot for you. So Russell refrigeration training is one topic. There are some more aluminum coil repair training classes. This is a great class, and it's a hands-on class where you'll actually get to repair aluminum coils with a variety of different torches. So make sure that you get that one on your calendar as a very highly sought after class. And then in November, we're going to be doing another round of A2L classes for Ruud. This is going to be focused primarily on how their refrigerant detector sensors work and installation best practices for this new line of equipment. So there are classes all over the state of Florida. Again, there's some QR codes there just for this particular class in Fort Lauderdale. Again, if it shows full, please send a message to marketing@tropicsupply.com and we can get you on a wait list. Don't miss these classes. We're going to be doing morning and afternoon sessions to get as many people through these classes as we can. But again, registration is required, but it is free to attend. And then here we are in our MasterMyRood.com series. We are in session 4, and we're going to be talking about RAPIDSPEC today. If you remember, Hurricane Milton had us rescheduling number 2. That one's now on December 4th. You guys all should have gotten a notice that we changed the date on that one. So we will be bookmarking that one on the bottom. And then just a couple of housekeeping items. All of you are on mute. Please type your questions in the chat box, though, because we can ask Todd questions as he goes through his presentation. I will be monitoring the chat box. There are prizes at the end for correctly answered questions, so take notes. You can win a Ruud branded Richardson hat. A link to the recording will be emailed to you after the webinar. If you guys have been participating in previous webinars, Can you, in the chat box right now, confirm that you're getting these post-event emails? We want to make sure that those are reaching you guys, that you have a copy of the recording, and you also have a copy of the survey that we want you to complete to give us some feedback to tell Todd how good or bad he's doing. I'm sure mostly good. But if there's anything we can do to improve future sessions, we do want to know about that. So then a shameless plug before we send it over to Todd. Todd has a new playlist on our YouTube channel called Todd Talks. And what he's doing is he's reviewing the latest advancements in HVAC technology, tools, equipment, all the things under the umbrella of HVAC. I think you'll find them very useful. Reviews of products and ideas on how to do better installations and up your game when it comes to HVAC. So in the the email that we're going to send you after this one, we'll send you a link to that channel playlist, and you can see what Todd has got all about Todd Talks. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we're going to let Todd take over, and hope you enjoy this session of My.Ruud, Master My.Ruud.
All righty. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. I wanted to jump over here. Hopefully we have My.Ruud. Everybody seeing my My.Ruud screen? Are we good, Heather? Okay. So today we're going to be talking about RAPIDSPEC, probably one of my favorite pieces of software that RAPID has available to contractors. It's a quick, easy way to put together professional looking submittals for commercial work, and also to help you quickly match up product that you may not be familiar with for residential applications as well. Now, when you can access it through My.Ruud by simply coming into the marketing tab and coming over to tools and down to RAPIDSPEC. Okay, you can also simply open up a browser window and go to rapidspec.com. Okay, you don't have to go through My.Ruud. You can just go to rapidspec.com. But if we click into here, this is going to give you a little brochure on it, talk to you, give you a little information about it, and then you'll have launch RAPIDSPEC. Okay, when you launch RAPIDSPEC, this is the title page you're going to come into. This is your login is going to be the exact same username and password that you have for My.Ruud. Okay, and it should already populate that for you. As you can see, I use it quite often. I've got a lot of jobs here. When you open it up, none of this is going to be here. This is just going to be a population of the jobs that you've done. So what you're going to see is create new project. And you're simply, we'll start right into create new project. Now, what I like is what it allows you to do when you come in here to create new project. Notice you have these different headers across the top here. It starts you out on the last one, which is the models. And it does this in case you're coming into RAPIDSPEC just to rapidly get some information on a system. So you don't have to fill out all this other information on details, customers, general contractor, mechanical contractor, just to get to the models. You can jump right into models. Now, I'm not going to do that right now. We're going to start at the beginning and go over the details. Okay. Your details page is simply your project information. Okay. So we will do a test project today. And what I always like to do over here, just so I can quickly go through these and see who it is, I'll put in here the contractor's name. Okay, the company name for the contractor. Job status active, a job number if you have. We'll have this information on here. Who it's prepared by. Okay, now this is the important part. A couple things to notice here. Hopefully it's showing on your screen. You'll see each time I click out of something here, you'll see a little circle thing that will generate, and that's just letting you know that it's updating this information. But something important is you need to select your state. I know most of you are in Florida, I believe, but this is the important one, the city. The cities that are listed here, these are where all the different weather stations are in Florida. So you need to select whatever weather station is closest to the location of the job that you're going to be doing, because this is what's going to key in the weather information and what the AHRI weather data information for your wet bulb, dry bulb, relative humidity, that type is for the area for the job that you're doing. Okay. So for me, I'm closest to the Daytona Beach International Airport. So that's what I'm going to select for this job application that we're doing here. Next, we're going to go to customer. Now, this customer information is your customer information, not your company's information, but yours. So here, if we were doing a commercial job here, we'd put, let's see, Joe's Ice Cream. Okay. And then we can say that the contract is Joe Doe. Okay. And then we'll move on to general contractor, if you have a general contractor. Okay. And again, this is, we're looking for company name. So General LLC, and our contact is Joe General. Okay. Move on to mechanical contractor. Same here. And we'll call him Joe Mechanical. And then we go to mechanical engineer. So we'll put engineer LLC and Joe Engineer. Now, you don't have to fill this information out. You can fill out as many or as few of these as you want to. The more you fill it out, the better it's going to look at the end when you print this out for either your general contractor or whoever you're bidding this with, or even if it was a homeowner. Right now, I'm kind of doing it as a commercial application, but you can most certainly do it as a residential application. And then last but not least, we'll do architect, and I'll just put, there we go. All right, and then last but not least, we're jumping to the models. This is where we started from, okay? And this is a tab you're probably going to use most often. Now from here, you'll see there's no models listed. This search model is a little bit misleading. This isn't for you to search for models to add to this. This is for you to search models that you've already listed. So if you end up with 20 different models of systems here and you want to jump back to a specific one, you can type it into here and it'll take you to those that you've listed. But when you're starting off, what you're going to do is hit this red button at the top that says add new model. And we're going to select HVAC equipment. And now you see you have old platform and new platform. Always select both of them. That's going to give you the biggest information database to draw from. Now you see you have system type, and then you have I know my model number and configure by parameters. So I'm going to go on the assumption that most of you don't have the model numbers memorized like those of us that been doing this for a while. So again, this is something I love about this program. You can come in here and hit configure by parameters. Okay, and this window is going to pop up. First, it's going to ask you your system type. Okay, and it lists pretty much every system we have, whether it's residential or commercial. You got gas, electric, packaged cooling, heat pump, dual fuel, split condenser matched with a furnace and coil, split condenser matched with an air handler, and then your heat pumps with a furnace and air handlers. All right, so we'll select heat pump, my favorite market. Okay, and now you're going to select your BTU capacity, and it's going to list the different BTU capacities available, even up into the commercial equipment. Okay, so let's assume this is a commercial job. We'll start with that first, and we're going to select this 90,000 BTU because that's the size that we know we need. Now it's asking for voltage. Most commercial applications in Florida are going to be 208 three-phase, and then it's automatically populating this, and this is basically the only system available for that application. Okay, if there were other systems available to meet that criteria, it would list them here, and we'll show you that. So we'll jump right to this, and now it's going to populate this information in here. Okay, but whenever there's a blank spot at the end, that means there's more information that you need to fill in. Okay, so we're going to click air handler. There's only one, so we'll select that air handler. We have to tell it the voltage. This is 208, 230 volt three-phase. And now it's asking for voltage again. Now, the reason it's doing that is because we need to know specifically, is it 208 volt or is it 230 volt? Because that's going to make a difference on the heat strip that we select. Because if we select a 10 kW heat strip at 230 volt and we apply it to 208 volt application, it's going to be less than 10 kW voltage or wattage. So we'll come down here, we'll select this 15 kW three-phase, and notice it's populating the model numbers at the bottom here as we go. Now, in the next column over, you have your inputs for your airflow, static pressure, altitude, cooling outdoor dry bulb, outdoor wet bulb, indoor dry bulb, indoor wet bulb, outdoor dry bulb, and indoor dry bulb. Now, most of this you're going to leave the same. On a commercial job, if you're speccing from a print, all of this information should be on your blueprint. So you need to make sure you update this information with what's on the blueprint, because it will affect our cooling performance. So let's say, for example, on the blueprint that they wanted 2900 CFM and they wanted it at 0.3 static pressure. Okay, you can see as we're changing that, it's changing this information over here. And maybe they wanted it at actual ASHRAE conditions, which would be 95, 80, and 67. Okay, now oftentimes also in commercial applications, there's going to be outside air listed on the print as well. So if you need to calculate what's going to happen in your cooling performance with outside air, you'll simply check this box and then you'll add into here what the outside air requirements are on the print. So let's say they're requiring, well, we'll just leave it there. Let's say they're requiring 100 CFM. The print will tell you at what, that will give you this information is typically on the print. Okay. And now we see that it's adjusted our information over here. It's given us what our total design information is for the information that we've inputted. So we have our 86,000 total BTUs. We have our EER, our sensible and latent capacities. Then you have your heating performance. As we scroll down, you've got your fan performance. And then depending on the equipment, there may be some accessories that you want to choose. So you have standard accessories and select custom. We'll start with select standard, and there's no additional accessories available in RAPIDSPEC. So depending on the equipment, there may or may not be standard accessories. There's oftentimes custom accessories. So for example, if we wanted to add a manual fresh air damper, you could come in here, we would enter in the part number, you would put manual damper. And at this point, this is information that you would either need to know or be looking at in the spec sheet for the particular model that we've selected here, okay, on this split system. So I'll show you that better in a different model that we're going to add, because I'm going to continue to add models to this that we're looking at. But we've entered in all our information here, and now simply at the top, you're going to hit save. Now you see we're back at this page, we're back under this project, and now we have a model listed. Okay, now let's add another model. So we're going to go to add new model, HVAC equipment, and this time we'll do it here instead of here. Now you'll see that this has a very similar drop-down configuration, but you need to know a little bit more about what you're looking for. So if we started here, we're going to select here, and I'm going to go with package cooling this time. And now it's asking for the family that I'm looking for. So you'll see there's several different families that are listed now. So this is where you're going to kind of need to know what family that you're looking for. So I'm going to select this. We'll select this one. And capacity wise, we'll go with a 5-ton on this. Our voltage is still going to be 3-phase on this building. We're going to go to 208 volt. And there we are. Okay, so we've added this information here. I won't bother. And let's see if there's any accessories listed on this. All right. So see, now you have all these standard accessories that are more popular with a package unit. So let's say we want to go ahead and add a manual fresh air damper. See, this is fixed at 35, or you have a motorized damper. That we want low ambient controls. This is one area you need to be very careful about when we're talking about roof curbs. You're welcome to select these roof curbs. This is an 8-inch roof curb and a 14-inch roof curb. In Florida, you're going to want the 14-inch roof curb. Sometimes you will see roof curb adapters listed here. Never select that. I repeat, never select the curb adapters that are listed in here. Those are curb adapters that are manufactured by RAPIDSPEC, and they do not meet the hurricane ratings for Florida. Okay, you will have to buy your curb adapters from an outside source, either Seacoast Curbs, somebody like that. And we can certainly get that information for you, and we can quote that information to you as well. But that's where you want to select your different accessories here and hit OK. So we'll be done with this one, and we'll hit save. Now, let's say on this particular job that this was let's say this was a split system. Let's say this is a condo, or let's say it's a condo or an office building. There you go, an office building. And this heat pump split system was maybe for the main lobby, but these 5-ton package units, they want to put 5 of them on the roof in order to cool the different offices that they have in this building. So what we can do over here is we can come into here and we can change that to 5. And then over here, we can come in here and we can just put that this is labeled as rooftop unit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. All right. So we can change that tag to whatever we want that changed to. All right. Now let's add another model. And this time we will go to a split condenser with air handler. And we're going to choose, now be careful here because I've selected old and new platform. You want to make sure you scroll down till we get to the AZ models. So we'll select an RA14 AZ. We'll say this is going to be a 3-ton. And our voltage is going to be, we'll put 230 volt. Option code, this is with high-low pressure controls. Ours already come with that, so you can select none. Air handler, it's going to list the different air handlers that are available for it. So again, this is in an area where you'd kind of need to know a little bit of this information. But I'm going to select the RH2TZ 3617 because I know that's the matchup that I want. We're going to say this is a 208 230 volt, and we're operating at 230 volt on this circuit. Heater option. Now this, I wish they would do this a little bit better, and I'm sorry that they don't. But you notice as we have these single phase options here, and as we scroll down, we've got these different options here. So the difference is if we select this one, okay, you notice that the part number it listed is an RXBH 1724A10J. Okay, that A is a designator of whether or not it has a pull-out disconnect, a circuit breaker, if it comes with no circuit breaker or no disconnect. Okay, if you were to come down here and select this one, you'll see that changes to a B10J, and the B models, I believe, are the ones that come with no breaker and no disconnect. Okay, that's typically what I prefer to put in. Again, unfortunately, you'd need to know this information. It's not going to matter to any of the critical information. Okay, so you could always, if you selected the one that had the A, it's not going to matter when it comes to the heating performance or fan performance of any of that information. It would only matter if you came to the shop and you actually ordered that. You may get a heater that comes with a breaker when you're wanting one that didn't. And of course, we can quickly correct that for you at the branch. Okay. Now, before I jump out of here, well, no, I'll get to that in a residential job. We'll just continue to go here. Okay, so now we've got our models all listed. Okay, we've selected the different criteria here. We've got everything. Now, you got details, copy, print, delete. So if, let's say on these rooftop units here that I needed another 5-ton RACZR, I can hit copy, okay? And you'll see it's added it here. And I can change this to 1, and I can change this to RTU6, and then jump into details. It's going to populate all the same information, but maybe I needed to do this one separately because on this particular one, the print was calling for 1800 CFM at a 0.7 static pressure, and I needed to add mixed air of 80 CFM in here. So if those package units are all the same, then great. But if you have one that's different, then you can simply copy it, populate the information, change whatever's different on it, and then hit save. And now you've got those models listed back for you again. Okay. Now at this point, I'm going to say that this job is done. Everything's great. And now you have different options. You can print the project, look at the schedule, or export the schedule. So when we look at the schedule, this is going to show you a schedule of what you would typically see on a blueprint. Okay. So if you are the one bidding the job for somebody, because sometimes you will get a blueprint that doesn't have any of this AC information on it, and you're the one responsible for determining what size equipment you're going to use to do this office building. So this is where you can get this information, send it back to the architect, and they can import that into the blueprint for you. Okay. So that now you'll have a schedule on the print itself. Okay. And that's just showing you a PDF of it. If you go to export schedule, I don't know if you saw that, but it exported it right up here. If we open that up into Excel, which sometimes I've often do, let me see if this is going to work. Okay. I'm in some kind of protected view on my screen. I apologize for that. Let me try it one more time. See if it'll open it. There we go. Now, what I like about this is when you open it into here, now you've got your different tabs across the bottom for the different types of equipment that we selected. But now if you wanted to, you could come in here and change this information, list whatever you wanted to rearrange this, because this is all now in Excel format, and you can change this to whatever you want. Okay. Oftentimes what I'll do is if the blueprint has a schedule on it and its schedule doesn't match the schedule that I have here as far as a particular order goes, then I'll rearrange these lines here to match what's on the original print, so it doesn't confuse the architect, engineer, or mechanical contractors or anybody else that's looking at it. Okay, so that's all available there. And then last but not least, my favorite, we have print project. Okay, this is where it's going to print out a really cool, nice looking submittal for you to give to your, okay, so see, this is all the information that we entered in. Joe's Ice Cream, the general contractor information, who's doing the submittal, and then we come to the units. This is a great little ordering sheet for you as well, but now you see it's listed the equipment with the descriptions. It's given you the accessories that we added and what units they're tagged to. Okay. Notes down here is where I put our company name. So in that notes, you could list that information in there for the contractor you're working with or your information. And then it's going to give you performance summary for each unit that you have tagged. It's going to give you all your cooling performances, all the information we had there, the heating performance, the air movement characteristics, the electrical supply information for your electrical contractor. Okay. The dimensions and weights. Okay, now we move on to condensing unit 2 that we did. It's going to give you some drawings on the equipment as well. See, we'll move down to the rooftop units. Okay, so as you can see, it gives you a very detailed, very nice printout of everything that you've done on here. Okay. Heather, do we have any questions yet?
Not yet.
All right. Okay, so now that's basically running through a commercial job. All right, so we're going to go home. You see it's added it up here. So if for whatever reason, you can come in here and you can change the status from active to canceled or postponed. I never, as you can see, I never do that. I should, but I don't. If you want to get back into this job, you'll simply hit details. Because of my screen width, this delete button overlaps my detail button. So just be careful. If you want to get back in here, you can just hit details. If you want to go back to the job and print another copy of it, you can just hit print and it'll print you back to that copy. If you're doing a job that you're bidding out to maybe several different people, then you can copy it and rename the information so you don't have to go in and redo the whole job over and over and over again. This transfer one, you're not going to really be able to use. That's something that we're able to set up internally. I don't know that you can do it on a contractor level. On a distributor level, for example, we have Rafael Ramirez, who is one of our purchasing guys for RAPIDSPEC and one of our commercial guys down in South Florida. So if I wanted to quote this now, let's say I was bidding this out to Todd's AC, then I could hit this transfer button and enter in his email, and it will email that project to him, and then he can edit it, change it, do whatever he wants to do to it, price it out for me, and then send it back to me. I apologize. I probably should have looked that up a little bit ahead of time. I don't know how that's going to work on a contractor level. I do know that whoever you enter into that email also has to be a user in RAPIDSPEC. So you can't just email that outward. It has to be somebody that has a My.Ruud login and that has a username and password for RAPIDSPEC.
So Mark Campbell in the comments just wrote, it just needs to do a manual J or N.
Okay, so you can incorporate that. Now we can do a manual J, we don't do manual Ns. But that is going to be that was session 2. Session 2 is RAPID Design Star. RAPID Design Star is writes off manual J, private labeled for RAPID. And that's the training class we had to postpone. But that training class is going to be on, what'd you say, December 4th?
December 4th, yep.
December 4th, where we'll go into that. Now, yes, you can often do that first to get your sensible and latent, to get your information on the unit for manual J. And when we do that training, there'll be some information on there on how to do a little bit of a manual S in there as well to select the equipment. And then you can bring that over to RAPIDSPEC now that you have the models of equipment and enter it in here for your residential equipment. So
yeah, so Mark, you just need to make sure you're on that session because Todd's going to demo that
yeah.
Design
And if
Star.
anybody's dealt with writes off before, they know that that's not an easy one. So bring your thinking caps and your notepad on that one. All right, so now that's commercial. Let's jump into how I would use this if I were doing residential. So I'm going to hit create new project. And I'm not going to worry about any of these details right now because what I'm kind of looking for is some matchups here. So I'm going to just come in here and I'm going to add new models. I'm going to go to HVAC equipment. And if you only select new, see, this gets updated on a regular basis. So right now, if I were only to select new platform and I'm going to go to a split system heat pump, the only systems it's going to list are the new R454B models. Okay. So that's why I say that you need to keep selecting old and new platform. All right, but I'm going to assume that we don't know, what we're looking for as far as a model goes on anything. So I'm going to do configure by parameters, and I'm going to change this to, let's see, what do I want? Let's do a fun one. Split condenser matched with furnace and coil. And I'm going to go to, we'll do a, let's see, we'll do a 3.5 ton because that presents something interesting I can point out. We're doing a 3.5 ton. We're going to do 230-volt single phase. It's a residential application. And notice it says SEER, not SEER 2. Okay, so again, we're hoping to get RAPIDSPEC to change some of this stuff and kind of list this, because if I select this 14 here, it's going to give me older SEER model numbers. So because I use RAPIDSPEC so much, I know that I need to go to at least a 14.3 in order to see SEER 2 equipment. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You're going to see descriptions here when you select this. So if you select that and it says SEER, just keep in mind, you should know by now that you need SEER 2 equipment. So go to at least a 14.3 so you see the SEER 2 listed there. Now I'm going to select the RA14 AZ42. And it's going to populate all this information for me. And now it's going to select the furnace family. Okay. Now, there's several different furnace model numbers listed here. This is where you may need to get somebody from Tropic involved if you don't know what specific model that you're looking for. I know that what we carry here at Tropic is the R801Ts. So that's the one that I'm going to select. And now it's asking for my input. So you got your different input BTUs here. So I'm going to select the 75,000 BTU, and I'm doing this on purpose. Airflow, I want up to 4 tons. Cabinet width, okay? Now, I'm going to select 17.5 because we have the tendency of wanting the narrowest cabinet, right? So we'll just select this 17. This is where I want to point something out. Okay, cabinet width, standard grade. Now it's asking for a coil, and it's only listing one coil. So I'm going to select that coil. Now, this may not pop out to you right away, so this is what I'm going to point out. This is a 17.5-inch wide furnace, but I've selected a 21-inch wide coil. So that's going to be mismatched on top of that furnace. Okay, now you can adapt it to that if you want to. Most guys would rather come up here, change it to a 21-inch wide cabinet, and now we've got a matching cabinet and coil that's going to have a nice seamless transition from the top of the gas furnace to the cased coil. Okay. And we've listed all the information there. It's giving you all your information here. Okay. So that's a quick way to choose that information, to get that information. Now you have the model numbers of everything you need to order from Tropic Supply. Okay. We'll save that. We'll do a couple more examples. We'll add a new model. And let's see, which one do I want to do? We'll do a drop down here, and we'll do a split system heat pump.
Todd, let me interrupt you for a second. Did anyone else lose sound? I can still hear Todd on my ends, but Mark Campbell's saying that he doesn't have sound anymore. Can you guys, any other attendee in? Oh, it came back. It's back. Okay, so we must have lost it for a minute.
Okay, maybe my internet cut out.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so we got split system heat pump matched with an air handler. I'm going to scroll down to a RP18AZ. We'll select. Now, notice when I went to the 18AZ, we don't have half tonnages. That's because when we get up into our inverter systems, we don't have those half tonnages. So we'll select a 4-ton. We're going to select the 230 volt. We're going to select the RHMV air handler. We're going to select the voltage. Heater option. Again,
Hey,
I know.
Todd, did they not have the RAPIDSPEC version in there? UP?
That's a good question. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to say RAPIDSPEC, but what Heather's referring to is on RAPIDSPEC, this would be a UP 18AZ.
Yeah, Ralph Ramirez is attending today, and he just put in the chat that no, that is not. So you would have to use the RP18 in this case.
Okay. And you see it's selected everything that we need here. Okay. Now, something that you need to be aware of. I'm trying to think of how I can do this. All right, let's just save this and let's go, because this is going to make a difference when you're doing this information. And unfortunately, there's no real way to do this in RAPIDSPEC without having the spec sheet. All right, so let's add a new model, and we're going to do a simple system here. We're going to add a new model. We're going to do a split condenser with a matched air handler, and we're going to go with the RA14AZ. We're going to do a 3-ton. We're going to do 230 volts. No option code. We're going to select a RH2TZ3617. We're going to come down to voltage, 230 volt. Our heater option on a 3-ton, we'll do 7.2 kW. All right, we've got this information. Now, here's a problem that and the only reason it's a problem is this information, this input here, this is nominal or standard information, okay? When you're dealing with all new equipment, no matter what manufacturer, it's not just RAPIDSPEC, this information is going to be different. So if we jump back over here to the RAPIDSPEC portal, and we were to come down here to product technical support, bear with me. And we're going to go to condensing units, and we're now going to look at that RA14AZ, and we're going to look at the spec sheet. We're going to select the latest spec sheet, and we are going to scroll down until we get to the AHRI listed data for this equipment, because this can get you in trouble. So you need to pay attention to this. We're no longer dealing with 12,000 BTUs per ton, and we're no longer dealing with 400 CFM per ton. Okay. So get away from your nominal tonnages when you're looking at this stuff. So if we look at that RA14AZ36, let me see if I can make that a little bigger for everybody. Oops. Okay, that's big enough. Okay. When you're looking at the RA14AZ36 with that, does it list it with the air handlers? Let me see if it does. No. All right, but this is going to give us the same information. Okay. You'll notice that we're at 34,200 capacity, and we're at 1,025 CFM. So this is what the design test designated test combination is. All right, so that is what it's rated at ASHRAE conditions at 0.5 static pressure. So we have 1,025 CFM, not 1,200 CFM on that 3-ton. So we need to go back into RAPIDSPEC, and we need to change that to 1,025 CFM. All right. Now, if your design with your ductwork is going to be at a different static pressure, then you'll need to change that as well. Okay. And you can see that that's changed our ASHRAE. And now here's what our total design is on that system at those conditions that we've listed here. And that's mainly because of this information that we have on our outdoor and wet bulb that was drawn from the Daytona weather station that we have listed here. Okay, so just be careful when we're talking about your airflow and your CFM. Okay. What time do we have? 8:44. Perfect. One last thing I want to do, I'm going to jump back in here to details because this is a question that I get often asked. Where can I find extended performance ratings on residential equipment? So we have this system selected here. You have your performance summary, which when we look at that, that's that information that you saw that you printed out. But now you have the ability to select your extended performance data. This is where you can find your extended performance tables on the residential matchups. It's about the only place you can get them. Raphael's on the line. Raphael, do you know of anywhere else that you can get that information? I don't think you can even find it in My.Ruud.
I'm going to wait for him to type in the chat and then I'll tell you.
Okay. But this is, I often get asked for extended performance ratings on the equipment. And this is, and you'll notice it also lists in your AHRI number here on here as well. Okay. So that finishes my information on RAPIDSPEC. Are there any, and again, you just print the project and it would show all three of these models that we did for this job. If that's something that you wanted to print out. Of course, we didn't populate any of that front page information, but it's going to give you this information here and the information that we went through before on that.
Does anybody want Todd to do any other different kind of combination or system that you want to see built? Because he can do another demo if you want. I'm just monitoring the chat, or any other thing that you want him to go revisit. We'll give everybody time to put their questions in the chat. How many of you in the chat feel like you could do this today for something that you have that you're working on now? Just a quick yes, no, or maybe. Jacob says maybe. Mark says yes. Ralph says yes. Luis says yes. All right, Ralph, we're still waiting for your answer on if there's extended performance data anywhere else outside of RAPIDSPEC.
I really don't think there is.
Okay.
This is a good one here. I'm picking a packaged gas electric, 300,000 BTUs. So this is a big one, 460 volt three phase. When you get here to drive on some of this commercial stuff, you're going to see a lot of these different drives that are here. If you don't know which one to pick, okay, or it's not specifically listed, sometimes on the blueprint, it'll specifically list that they want variable frequency drives with high static belt drives or direct drive or something like that. But if you're not sure, just hit any. And when you end up selecting what you're looking for on a job, it's going to select that for you.
Okay. All right. Ralph confirms that there is no other place for extended performance data. And Luis is asking, does a product manufacturer provide this info? So this is all coming from the factory, correct? They're inputting this data into this tool. Yeah.
Yes, all of this data comes from RAPIDSPEC. And this is only for RAPIDSPEC equipment. You can't use it for any other equipment, obviously. But yes, all this is a part of RAPIDSPEC. RAPIDSPEC is constantly updating this. That's why you already see R454B equipment in here. So if you wanted to come in here and you wanted to play around with some of that stuff, you're certainly welcome to do so. We selected a split system heat pump and we wanted a 3-ton, and we'll do 230 volt single phase. And we will do a 14.3, and we'll scroll. You'll see here, there's the RP14AY, okay, which is the R454B. So you're certainly welcome to come in here and play around with that and look at the different things, you'll see there's not much difference in anything here than what we have on any of that stuff. Just the Y is the designator that will tell you that it's a 454B system over a 410A system. It's a Z if it's 410A, it's a Y if it's 454B. But you can see the nomenclature is not going to change that much, just one letter. So, all right, that's all I got. If nobody has any other questions, I'm going to stop sharing.
All right, you stop sharing and I'll start sharing. Jacob is asking if it's the same indoor TXV. It is not. It is a different TXV. Good question though. Okay, let me share this from current slide. Okay, so model of indoor change. Yes, the indoor models will also have the Y. It will be an RH2TY, or an RF2TY, or an RB2TY. They'll all have Ys. Okay, so you have a QR code on your screen right now. We're going to get into the quiz time and the prizes. If you guys want to take a little snapshot of that QR code, that'll take you right to the survey for this event. Todd does want your feedback, good, bad, or ugly. He wants to make sure that every time we do these, it is of value to you guys. And if there's anything we can do to add, delete, change, we want to know. So quickly take a QR or take a snapshot of that QR code. So right when we're done, you guys can do that survey. All right. So next, okay. I am not going to read it this time because I don't want anybody to confuse you or anything. So what you're going to do is you're going to type your answer in the chat. The first person we see on our screen to answer correctly is going to be the winner. Vielka is going to call out the winner after she sees the first one. Do not despair if you look like you answered first and we call somebody else. It has to be on our screen, and sometimes there's a time delay. So we're not cheating. We're not favoring anybody. We're calling the winner that's first on our screen. So you guys ready? Get your typing fingers ready. On your mark, get set, go. Here's the first question. First question. We're looking for the correct answer first. All right, Vielka. Vielka, you're on mute, I think.
I just want to, hello everyone. I just want to make sure everyone knows whoever has won in the past cannot win again. Just to give others an opportunity to win. So the winner for this one is, I know Rose, you answered, but I believe you've already won. And the winner of this one, for question one, it's Jacob Osterhout.
Yay, Jacob. Good job. Rose, you know we love you. It's nothing personal.
Yeah.
All right, good. Yes, C is the answer for both residential and commercial installations. All right, question number 2. Yes, Rose, thank you for playing along. You got a great attitude. All right, 1, 2, 3, here you go. Question number 2. Oh, Jacob says he's won already as well. So then that would make Mark Campbell the winner.
Yes.
All right, Mark, thank you for being
Jacob.
honest, Jacob.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, so who won question number 2?
Question number 2 would have been question number 2. It's hold on one second because I see a lot of D's and B's. It is Garrett.
Yes, it's Garrett Rowland.
Garrett.
Good job, Garrett.
Garrett,
Awesome
yep.
sauce.
If
Super
you all
awesome.
can send me for the winners, if you all can send me your emails through the chat, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, then she can send you an email. You get actual choices of which hat you
Yes.
want. So she's gonna send you some pictures to choose. Jacob says he's afraid of Todd. Yes, you should be afraid of Todd. Jacob. All right, good. So, we got
Before you
Garrett
do,
and we've got Mark. Last question on your mark, get set, go. Ooh, everybody's reading.
Good. See, I made them harder this time.
Yeah, you did. They took a little delay. All right, all three of you, well, we have to wait. There we go. So Andrew got it that time because Garrett, Mark, and Rose have already won. And the answer is B, providing preloaded equipment templates based on project requirements. And I'm sorry, I don't
then
think I said the answer to 2, which was B. I saw a lot of
B.
T's in there, so I want to make sure everybody knows that the answer is quickly find the right equipment based on job specifications. The D answer, real-time system performance monitoring. No, not that, not RAPIDSPEC, not RAPIDSPEC. All right.
So if you can just do me a favor and note down the question that you won with your name, that'd be great. I see emails, but I believe Jason has said he already won.
Jacob did. So
Yeah,
you
so we
got
Jacob.
got
Mark.
Garrett Rowland for question 1.
No, it was
Mark,
Mark Campbell for question
Oh,
1.
sorry, Mark Campbell for
yeah,
question
Mark
1,
Campbell.
Garrett Rowland for question 2, and Andrew Troya for question 3.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Andrew, we need your email because I think, and Garrett, we need your email as well. Just
Yep,
type it in the chat.
thank you.
Or Garrett, we know Todd knows where to find you. All right, guys. Oh, there it is. It's there now. Okay. Thank you so much for attending. We love having you guys here. We love the participation. We hope you're finding this useful. Don't forget to get the survey done for us. That will help us on future sessions. I'm going to have Yelka also in the email. We're going to link. There's now a playlist on our YouTube channel for this series of webinars. So we're going to send you that link as well, so you don't have to find your recording. That has already been posted to our YouTube page as well. So that'll be a nice, easy way to find it, because you'll also see Todd Talks there and all of the other videos that we've done previously. So we will see you next Wednesday for another presentation by the fine Mr. Todd Sutherland, and we hope you have a good rest of your week. Oh, Rose, yes, I can put the QR code back up. There you go. For those guys who didn't snap it yet, but you guys are free to go, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. But I'll leave the survey code up here for a little bit. All right, thank you guys. We're going to end the webinar now.